Hello and welcome to JAR Community Session 1. For today's activity, you're going to need your volunteer guidebook, your table tents, which you can just simply have the students fold in half, hot dog style. They're going to write their name really big on one side so you can see, and you will need to collect these back every single lesson. You will also need your career cards, the community map, and the learning log. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about some different jobs that happen throughout the community. We're going to talk about what is a community and why do people use their skills and their job to make a community a better place to live. Take this opportunity to talk a little bit about yourself and your career in the classroom. We really want students to understand what you do and what a day-to-day looks like, because it's really fun when they get to learn about maybe a career that they didn't even know existed. When you have a vocab word on the screen like this, they are interactive. So what you want to do is invite a student to the board to be a vocab expert. You're going to ask them, what is a community? They're going to give their answer, and then they are going to click on the vocab word on the screen. So you can see once you click it, the definition is revealed. Throughout this presentation, there's multiple things that are interactive. So when you're prepping for this lesson, please take time to click through everything so you know what is clickable and what is not. We're going to talk about how cities look completely different, right? So maybe your community's within a town, a farm, or a city. For this vocab page, I would again call 4 students to the board to be vocab experts. Ask one about job, skill, one about want, and one about need. Again, these are interactive, so the students can click on the definition once they have given their best guess. If you want to hand out the community map in this lesson, you can, but what you're going to do in this slide is just simply talk about some different areas of the community and all the different things that go into running a successful community. Please try to make sure you have time to show the video You Can Be ABCs. It's a very fun video and the students really enjoy it, so please try to make time for the video. Then we're going to get into our job cards. When we have our job cards, we have our different types of jobs, and then on the back, we talk a little bit about what each job does, the education, etc. How I like to do this activity is I like to call roughly 4 students to the board. You can make it 3 or 7. It's totally up to you. We recommend 4 just for time's sake. And I like to say, pick out a career that maybe you don't know that much about, or maybe that you want to be when you grow up, or maybe that you just find interesting. What they're going to do, let's say they say baker, they're going to click on baker. You're going to click on it again, and we're going to talk a little bit about that career, what they do, where they work, the education it takes, skills, interests, and duties, and people they might work with in their job. Again, depending on time, you can pick as many or as few as you like. Again, we recommend 4-ish. Then you're going to get to the I Spy game. Now, this activity can be played 2 different ways. It can be played full group or in individual groups. So if you're going to play it full group, what you're going to do is you are going to use the hint matrix on pages 9 and 10 of your volunteer guidebook, and you are going to give clues on this community map. So in the corners, you'll see there is magnifying glasses. So you're just going to click one, and then there's a hint matrix for this specific quadrant. And you'd say, you know, I spy someone standing next to a red building. Could be the farmer, could be the firefighter, could be the grocer. Okay, I spy someone wearing a white hat. Okay, well, the farmer's not, the firefighter's not, so it must be the grocer. Then when a student thinks they have it, they can raise their hand. and guess it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about it, and you can talk about it full group. Then do maybe 2 or 3 for each quadrant so the students can really jump around and see a bunch of different careers within the community. Now, in that version, you did not have to hand out the community maps. If you want to do it full group, and you want to hand out the maps, how I would recommend it is hand everyone a career right away. Tell them just to read the career. Then once you do the hint matrix, let's say we had grocer, then whoever has grocer would stand up and talk to us a little bit about the grocer card. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it, if you want to pass out the I Spy community map cards or not. Now, let's say you want to play this in where the students work in groups versus you presenting on the on-screen presentation. That is completely fine. What you're going to do is you are going to hand out a community map to every single person, and then you're going to hand out a job card to every single student. And what they're going to do is you're going to give them 2 or 3 minutes. They have to hide kind of their job card from their teammates, and they are going to look at their career, what they do, and they're going to try to think of some hints for that specific person. Then they're going to work in groups to take turns describing the career they have by saying, I spy blank. Once they get it, that person, once someone in the group guesses it, that person can read about their card. Again, you can totally do it full group, or you can do it in individual groups. It doesn't matter to junior achievement, whatever way you think is going to be more interactive and fun for the students. Then we're going to talk a little bit about job skills. So we're just going to talk about what kind of skills are needed for most jobs, right? A lot of these are very common skills that you work on even in middle and high school and beyond. The next activity is a super fun one. It is a drag and drop activity. Again, there's a few ways you could play. You can stand at the front board yourself and say, okay, cook the sauce. Is that a pizza maker skill or an other skill? So someone else will have to have that skill. And then you could drag and drop it yourself. However, let's say your students have a little bit more energy and you want them up and moving. Have them all stand in the middle, designate one side of the room to pizza maker skills and the other side of the room to other skills, and then just go through each scenario. So pay the bills. So walk to one side if you think it's pizza maker, walk to the other side if you think it's someone else. Then let the students, give them 15 seconds to choose their side, and then you drag it to the correct side. Then have them go back to the middle and reset for the next scenario. Again, it's super easy. You could also call students to the board one at a time by drawing sticks with their names on it or whatever the teacher has in their room, or just calling on students, add pizza toppings. The student comes up, drags it, they sit down. The next student comes up, wash the windows. They drag it, the next person comes up. So there's a bunch of different ways to play this. The students love to interact with the smartboard, but they also like getting up and moving. So there's no wrong way to play this activity. Then you're going to break out the learning log, and I would give them, 5 to 10 minutes to fill this out at least. They're going to talk about their own job card and what they want to do and where that person would work. So make sure you leave time for that. Otherwise, if you run out because you're just having too much fun on the other games, feel free to send it home with the students and have them fill it out with their parents. Maybe they can even have their parents help them fill it out about whatever career they're in. Then the wrap up is just a few short reflection questions on how the activity went and what the students learned. I like to talk about these, but then I also like to have the students tell me in their own words, what was their favorite part of the activity? What's one thing they learned? Because it's really nice to hear from the students what they got out of the activity. Then again, it just talks about creating your own job card at home, which is in the student worksheet that we talked about. And that's it. Then you have officially completed session 1 of JA Our Community. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.